You know that weird moment. You have one incredible night with her. The vibe is effortless. The eye contact lingers. She laughs a little too hard at your jokes. She opens up more than usual. And for a second, it feels real. Then the next day, she goes quiet. Not fully gone, just different. She watches your story, likes something random, maybe sends a dry text 6 hours later, but the warmth you felt in person, it's suddenly behind glass, and now your mind starts sprinting. What changed? Did I do too much? Did I imagine the whole thing? Why does she feel close and far at the exact same time? Why does this always happen when I actually care? Here's the truth most men never hear. She's not pulling away because she feels nothing. She's pulling away because she feels too much. And bro, that changes everything. You're not crazy. This isn't about you being weak. Most guys go through this exact confusion and nobody ever explains what's really happening underneath it. By the end of this video, you're going to know the real signs an avoidant is deeply attached to you, why obsession in an avoidant never looks obvious, and how to tell the difference between real emotional investment and empty mixed signals. Let's get into it. Most guys believe if a woman is truly into you, she'll become more obvious, more consistent, and easier to read. But the real truth is, when an avoidant woman feels something real, her system often does the opposite. She gets activated, she feels exposed, her energy shifts. Because to her, closeness doesn't just feel exciting, it can feel dangerous. That's the part most guys completely miss. She's not only reacting to you, she's reacting to what connection stirs up inside her. She senses the intimacy growing. Her gut feels the loss of control. She feels a wall go up, not because you did something wrong, but because real closeness touches old survival habits she hasn't outgrown. Not mixed signals, not coldness, not lack of attraction. A nervous system that wants love, but panics when love starts feeling real. And here's the thing, that doesn't mean every avoidant person who confuses you is secretly obsessed. If she never invests, never returns, never opens up, and never makes space for you, that's not hidden love. That's just distance. But when the signs are there, they're there in patterns, subtle patterns, emotional patterns, behavioral patterns. Because women don't just respond to what happens, they respond to what they feel happening inside them. And with avoidance, the strongest feelings are often the least advertised. So if you want to understand what's really going on, stop asking, why isn't she acting normal? Start asking, what is she feeling that she doesn't know how to hold? That's when the whole dynamic starts making sense. Number 1, she pulls away right after closeness. This is the first sign. And it's the one that scrambles most guys. Most guys see distance after intimacy and assume attraction dropped, so they panic, they double text, they demand clarity, they try to fix the moment with more effort, more talking, more pressure. But the deeper truth is this. When an avoidant feels unexpectedly close to you, she doesn't always relax. She often gets flooded. She feels how much access you suddenly have to her emotions, and her system tries to restore control. That's why the pullback often happens right after the best date, the best conversation, or the most genuine moment. And here's where it gets interesting. The stronger the connection felt to her, the stronger the urge may be to regain emotional space. Her inner voice is saying, why do I feel this much already? And I need to slow this down before I lose myself. So the wrong move sounds like this. Why are you being weird now? You were so into me yesterday. If you like me, act like it. The grounded move sounds like this. No pressure. I liked seeing you. Hope your week's going smooth. Hit me when you're free. See the difference? One response chases the feeling. The other respects it without collapsing. One tells her you need instant reassurance. The other tells her your presence is calm, real, and grounded. And when you do that, she feels safe instead of cornered. Number 2, she remembers the tiny things. Here's the part nobody talks about. Avoidants may act detached on the surface, but they pay very close attention to what matters emotionally. Most guys are looking for loud signs, big compliments, constant texting, public displays, but obsession in an avoidant often hides inside memory. She remembers your presentation was on Thursday. She remembers the name of your dog. She remembers that you hate crowded bars and that you only drink whiskey when you've had a long week. Most guys brush this off because it doesn't look dramatic. But attention is energy. And when a woman with avoidant habits stores your details without announcing it, that means you're living in her head more than she wants to admit. She may not know how to express longing directly, so it leaks through recall. That's why she'll randomly say, "Didn't you say your sister had that interview today?" Or, "You seem quieter than usual. Long week?" Bro, that is not casual. That's emotional bookmarking. Now watch the difference in how you handle it. The insecure response is, "Oh, so you do care. Wow, I didn't think you were paying attention. Guess I'm on your mind, huh?" The strong response is simpler. "Yeah, good memory. It actually did go well. I like that you catch the little things." That response lands. Why? Because you're not forcing her into a confession. You're giving her space to stay genuine without making her feel exposed. And when you do that, she starts thinking, "He sees what I'm giving without making me regret giving it." That's when she starts replaying the connection in her head. Number 3. She finds indirect ways to reach for you. This is the one most guys completely miss. Avoidants rarely walk straight toward vulnerability. They circle it. They come in through the side door. So instead of saying, "I miss you," she sends a reel. Instead of saying, "I've been thinking about you," she sends a random meme, a song, a casual question, or some excuse that technically didn't need to be asked. Most guys either dismiss this or overreact to it. They think, "That's nothing," or they think, "Finally, now let me force this into a deeper talk." Both miss the point. The deeper truth is that indirect contact is often her safest form of emotional risk. She wants connection, but she wants it in a shape that doesn't make her feel too exposed. It's like touching the water with one foot before walking in. Conversation isn't a performance, man. It's a dance. And avoidants test rhythm before they trust closeness. So if she sends, "This made me think of you," or "You'd probably hate this place," don't respond like this. You can just say you miss me. "Why are you always random?" "Are you bored?" Respond like this. "That's actually accurate. You know me too well." "That made me laugh." Simple, warm, unforced. And here's the thing. When you meet her indirect bid with steady energy instead of pressure, her brain starts whispering, "He doesn't force me. He just gets me." That's emotional caffeine for her mind. Number 4. She quietly keeps tabs on you. Not loudly, not dramatically, not in a way most guys expect. But she's there. She sees your stories fast. She notices when your tone changes. She picks up on your haircut, your mood, your absence, your new routine. She may not comment every time, but she tracks the shift. Most guys think obsession should be obvious. They expect constant pursuit, constant availability, constant reassurance. But an avoidant woman can be deeply mentally invested while still acting restrained, because restraint is how she protects herself. Her feelings are real. Her expression is filtered. And here's where it gets interesting. Monitoring is not the same as commitment, but it is attention. And attention always tells you where energy is going. If she keeps noticing you, tracking you, and popping up around your world, there's emotional gravity there. Her inner dialogue sounds like this. "What's he doing now? Why do I care who he's with? Why did I notice that instantly?" Now compare the energy. The weak move is, you watch everything but never say anything. "So you stalking me now? If you care, prove it." The grounded move is smoother. You notice more than you say. You always catch the details. "I had a feeling you'd see that." That lands differently because you're not accusing. You're naming the connection without demanding a performance. Your energy is the message before your mouth even opens. And when you do that, She feels drawn in instead of called out. Number 5, she tests your emotional stability. Now this one matters, because most guys completely fumble it. She might tease you. She might delay replies after a warm moment. She might act a little contradictory. She might say something like, "You probably say that to everyone," or "I'm sure you have options," or "I don't know if I'm built for this." Most guys hear those moments and start proving themselves. They over-explain, they defend, they chase. But the deeper truth is this: an avoidant woman often tests not because she wants drama, but because she wants data. She wants to know if your presence is real or performance. She wants to know if your calm disappears the second she stops validating you. She wants to know whether your confidence is solid or rented, not loud confidence, not fake confidence, not flexing at the gym confidence. Quiet, grounded, I know who I am confidence. That's what regulates her. So when she says, "You probably talk like this to a lot of girls," the needy response is, "No, I swear, I'm different with you. I only want you." Why do you always assume the worst? The stronger response is, "You can believe that if you want. I'm still me. You'll figure me out." That's not cold, that's centered, because you're not trying to win the case. You're showing her that your mindset doesn't crack under tension. And when you do that, her brain says, "He doesn't need me to stabilize him." That's when you start feeling magnetic to her. Number 6, she reveals herself in fragments. This one is huge, bro, because avoidants rarely open like a floodgate. They open like a cracked door. A little truth here, a quiet confession there, a sentence that slips out before she can hide it. She might say, "I don't trust people easily," or "I'm not used to someone being this consistent," or "Sometimes I disappear when I care too much." Most guys hear those moments and instantly turn it into an interview. They ask 10 questions. They try to fix her. They try to become her therapist. They make the moment heavier than it needed to be. And that's exactly what makes her shut back down. Because the deeper truth is that vulnerability for her is not just honesty, it's exposure. She feels the risk in her body before she even finishes the sentence. Silence between words is like silence between musical notes. That's where the rhythm lives, and if you rush to fill it, you kill the safety. So the wrong response sounds like this: "What happened to make you like that?" "Who hurt you?" "You can tell me everything." The stronger response sounds like this: "You don't have to force anything with me." "That makes sense." "I get why you'd protect yourself." Feel that? One approach grabs, the other receives. And when you receive her without prying, her inner voice says, "He sees me without trying to invade me." And when she feels that, she starts trusting your calm more than your words. Number 7, she keeps coming back to the emotional thread. This is the clearest sign of all. Because obsession is not always about intensity. Sometimes it's about return. Most guys judge everything by consistency on the surface. If the pattern isn't perfectly linear, they assume it means nothing. But with avoidance, the real signal is whether she keeps re-entering the bond after distance. She comes back to the same conversation. She checks on the same part of your life. She restarts the thread you thought was dead. She circles back to you emotionally, even when she tried to create space. That matters, because an avoidant doesn't keep returning to a connection that means nothing. She might resist it, delay it, confuse it. But if she keeps gravitating back, that means the bond is pulling on her from underneath the surface. And here's the thing. This isn't about chasing someone unavailable forever. This isn't about becoming addicted to crumbs. If she returns but never grows, never respects you, and never deepens, you don't romanticize that. You walk. But when she returns, and each return carries more softness, more honesty, more presence, that's different. That's her nervous system learning your energy is safe. So if she comes back after going quiet, don't hit her with, "So now you remember I exist?" You need to make up your mind. "I'm tired of your games." Try this instead. Good to hear from you. I figured you had a lot going on. We can pick this up when it feels right. That response is powerful because you're not punishing her for needing space, and you're not rewarding chaos either. You're showing her what grounded masculine presence actually feels like. And when you do that, she feels something rare. She feels safe, but not trapped. Seen, but not exposed. Close, but not controlled. That's the shift. So let's pull this together. If an avoidant is obsessed with you, it usually won't look like loud romance. It won't always look like obvious pursuit. It won't come wrapped in the kind of validation most guys were taught to look for. It looks subtler than that. She pulls away after closeness. She remembers the little things. She reaches out indirectly. She keeps tabs on you. She tests your emotional gravity. She reveals herself in fragments. And no matter how much she tries to create distance, she keeps coming back to the thread between you. That's not random. That's attachment fighting fear. But here's what changes everything. Your job is not to decode every mixed signal and beg the truth out of her. Your job is to become the kind of man who can recognize real emotional patterns without abandoning himself in the process. This isn't about memorizing signs. It's about becoming more grounded, more calm, more genuine. Because once you internalize this, you stop chasing certainty and start reading energy. You stop performing for connection and start becoming the kind of man whose presence feels safe enough to be real around. And that changes your whole life, not just with her, with everyone. Here's the line I want you to remember. Stop chasing the confession. Become the calm she can't forget. And if you want the next piece, watch the next video on how to deal with an avoidant without losing your power. Because seeing the signs is one thing. Knowing how to respond is what makes her fall deeper.